You know that game you spent the last 10 to 12 hours playing, folks? Well, too bad. None of that counts. Here's what really happened. Welcome to the finale of the Shadow the Hedgehog playthrough, and yep, last story, which pretty much takes an entire shit on the whole concept of the game, the morality system.
I bet people were like mega pissed when they first saw this, like all that hard work that they went through is all for nothing.
Exactly, because this ending is officially canon to the Sonic universe, folks. So you wanted that Shadow to be an arsehole? Too bad, not canon.
It's like, what if people wanted that?
I guess they had to. I guess Sega realized they shot themselves in the foot by doing all that.
Now, I can uncover the truth about my past.
So when you get to here, this is like, thank God that he's no longer saying that anymore. I finally have the emerald. Shut the fuck up!
I know, we've seen this like 12 times already.
What?
Shadow, give me the Chaos Emeralds.
How about no?
Give the emeralds to Black Doom, Shadow.
They're planning to destroy the planet.
Oh my god, what a twist.
What a twist! How can? By the way, I should have said this at the very beginning, but where's his mouth? How can he talk?
Maybe it's telepathic, I don't know.
What? What if all this time Shadow was the only one able to hear him in his mind?
So like, to Sonic and the others, it's just Shadow and Black Doom just staring at each other in silence.
Or some sort of illusion where he does that, where he moves his hands and makes sign languages. But in Shadow's mind, he's just talking.
Like how everyone's just in utter shock.
Like, oh, look at Tails there.
Humans are a great energy source for us. They will be well kept.
Oh, now the shocked.
Begin our ritual of prosperity. Chaos.
You know, with the amount of characters that use this ability, this makes the exclusivity to Shadow gone.
I know.
Because, was it Shadow was the only one that used to be able to do it? Now Sonic can do it, Black Doom can do it, Silver can do it.
So it seems anyone with a Chaos Emerald can do it.
Exactly. So this was Black Doom's plan all along, folks. Transport the Black Comet using Chaos Control and suck the human energy out of it. Because as he mentioned, if it went through the atmosphere, it would shatter itself.
What was that? What just happened?
Did you not just see what happened?
Or did it not feel anything?
Surface using Chaos Control.
How do you know this, Sonic? There's no windows.
Impossible.
That's why you needed the Chaos Emeralds.
Again with these over dramatic sound effects. By the way, Doom, can you tell us where you got your fancy jewellery? That looks like it's worth at least 20,000 yen.
Hey, Champ Samuels.
At the bookies. That's what he is. He betted his own black arms to win the race and he won the jackpot.
Charged to full power. It's the perfect plan. That's why.
Is that supposed to be blood on his horns or just is it part of his skin?
What?
It's probably part of his skin.
Insane.
Wow, look at his teeth.
What kind of facial animation is that? It's like you can see his gums. It's like the teeth are flowing inside his gums. But here's the truth about his past, folks.
Was in development of the ultimate life force, but he needed my help. So we made a deal. I helped him, and he promised to deliver me the 7 Chaos Emeralds.
But why didn't General just... Remember in the events of Adventure 2, why didn't Gel just, tell the government, hey, there's an alien force threatening to come back?
I know, it's just so many plot holes.
It's just pathetic. This is really bad story writing.
Me? I can't.
Even Shadow himself is shocked about it.
He betrayed his own people.
Wow, look at that lip syncing.
For Black Doom?
It's that problem, isn't it? Where it's the Japanese voice lip syncing, but it's the English dubs.
Yeah.
Let's do this. I'll crush that cosmic rock ball.
So you will, Knuckles.
Yeah, just...
Knuckles.
Eggman.
brush my teeth, will you?
Colgate.
Colgate.
Ding.
In a moment, total paralysis will hit
So he's unleashed gas that's frozen their bodies.
near now.
Yeah, Knuckles, you can't escape from that.
Look at Eggman now.
My dear offspring,
God damn, all your... And so all your foot soldiers were your children? God damn.
Someone's been busy.
Look at this worm on the floor. That's what Shadow's fucking... This is pathetic.
Did I
Gave you
die?
life, Shadow.
That's why you were created.
Please help me, Shadow.
At this point, he's saying, fuck everything. I've had enough. And what does he do at first? Puts his foot down.
Literally.
I am Shadow and I support the 1%.
I am Shadow the
I should put my foot down.
Hedgehog. Left the past behind me. No one can tell me what to do now. I will destroy you, Black Doom.
So there you go, folks. No matter who, that's your real ending. He saves the day.
Yep.
How you repay. The irony of it all is I gave you life. Now, I'll take
Why did the professor really need to rely on the alien solstice to bring his creation to life? He seemed okay with the bio lizard.
I know.
Shadow?
You're our only hope now.
Can you please get these things away from us?
On to the last level, folks. The Last Way. Very unimaginative name. But what's good about this? Well, good and bad about this story, folks. This and the final boss, you don't get ranked. For this, you have to get to the end of the stage within 10 minutes.
Make your way inside.
Yeah, so a time limit.
Yes, it's a time limit. But good news, all your enemies are black aliens, so you can use chaos control to your advantage. Because they introduce a section where, yes, it's exactly the same black combat as we were before, but there'll be some areas where it's a dead end, and the only way to get through is to use chaos control.
Ah, right.
Look out! It's a black alien!
You know, do you know what I should have done? I should have showed off the extra weapons in this last minute mission, but again, at this point, I was like, I want this to end. Some explosion.
Jeez, so he's still no detail. There we go.
Now he's dead. Ah, yeah, these guys keep on infinitely spawning.
Does that just get your chaos control meter up?
Yes. Because all the enemies at this point are black aliens, because you realize that the black aliens are bad. But like I said, you're on a time limit. You better hurry up. And get this, these worm creatures here, they introduce 3 of them, but they don't do anything extra, but even despite having a different colour.
Black creatures seem to be
Okay.
Like there's black, and then there's brown worms, and then there's gold ones. They do nothing extra, like additional damage or anything like that.
behold
Zoom!
There we go.
to fire a worm. Just hold down the beam and then set them aside.
These aliens are bloody savage in this
Yeah,
level.
exactly. But Shadow, what have I been doing for the past game? Hey, there you go, Sonic. On Sonic 06, eat your heart out. You can jump on enemies.
I know, even in this game you can do it.
You can still jump on them. That was like a classic feature. Why did they get rid of it? So, since we've seen this stage before, do you want to summarize your overall thoughts of Shadow as a whole?
Boring. But overall, like, when the game first came out, I enjoyed it for what it was back then, because like when I was like 12, I was like easily impressed.
I think we all were, mate.
But looking at it now, like, it is like pretty bad. Like, it does feel like a sort of experiment, like just to see what like a mature Sonic game would be. Because like Shadow is like one of the most popular characters in the fan base.
But still, you gotta wonder, why did they ask for guns? I wouldn't ask for... If I wanted a Shadow game, I wouldn't want them to have guns.
It's like, as many people have said, like, I would have preferred this game, instead of missions, it's just a straight, like, from point A to point B, end of the level sort of thing.
Aye, like a single playthrough for all of the stages instead of having the whole morality system.
Yeah. So you have like one story that you just follow along with, instead of like wasting your time going through like all these stories and then just finding out that like all of them count for nothing.
And no amount of gunplay will save it, folks, because again, nobody wanted these guns. You think there's a reason why they don't after this they try their best to make sure this never happened again, or they don't reference it.
I bet there are a few people that probably enjoy like the guns.
But still, The problem, this is when the inconsistency of gameplay started to go down, or just get ridiculous at this point. I mean, we had Adventure 2 and Adventure... Before this, we had Adventure 1 and Adventure 2, which were good enough on the Dreamcast, and what happened, then Sonic Heroes happened, then this.
It's like Sonic Heroes isn't really like a bad game, it's just kinda alright.
Yeah, I'd rather play Heroes than Shadow. But then comes the ultimate question, with Shadow or Sonic 06?
I think like with Sonic 06, you have a lot to talk about with that sort of game. Like it's, I wouldn't say it's so bad it's good, but like it's one of those games that you need to sort of like experience at least once. Like for Shadow, you can just completely skip, I think.
Yeah. I think that's also brings up that topic of, when it comes to video games, sometimes the worst is a boring game. Because it's there, it does its job, but there's nothing else to talk about. Compared to, like, as you said, a bad game, you can talk shite about it.
Yeah. It's like with Sonic 06, like, it's one of those games that, like, I bet, like, people will be talking about to the end of time, like, as to how cheesy and
I mean, for
bad
God's
it is.
sake, it's getting redone on a PC mod with improved physics.
It's like, clearly, like, I think the most damaging for the franchise is Sonic 06.
Because that's what caused the company to realize they done goofed. You know that when sometimes you have to hit rock bottom in order to realize something's wrong.
It's like for Shadow the Hedgehog, I feel like they were trying to just do something like different with the franchise, but Sonic 06 was meant to be the game that brought the franchise back into like into its mainstream.
But I think it had so many ideas.
Yeah.
But as for this, it's just boring. Not to mention the story writing was bad. Black Doom himself is a forgettable villain. I would say looking back, I'd say he's worse than the Deadly Six, and that's saying something. Because the Deadly Six are boring in their own way too.
At least you sort of remember the Deadly Six.
Black Doom here is like, in fact, I think the Black Doom was so badly received that in the comics they wrote the Black Aliens out, saying that they have to fight some other alien species in the galaxy.
Really?
Yes, they wrote them off because this game was poorly received. Little Trigger happy there, and there he is.
I found him.
So after this cutscene, folks, final boss, and we're done.
Good. You're not gonna say anything?
No. Shadow, you're kind of creeping us out there. So like I said, you don't get ranked. So what was the point of that? Just to hear the music? I'll give the Shadow the Hedgehog this. It has more memorable music than, say, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. But the music itself is not... It's not memorable, but when I do enjoy when I'm playing through the levels.
But you still don't understand, do you? The future we offer is the only option for these humans.
Yeah, we've had enough of this bullshit.
You're boring me to death, Black Doom. You're going down.
Teeth.
Where's your fangs?
Such bravado for a little hedgehog. I thought you were different from the rest. Maybe not.
I use the power of the Force to command you to stomp. Look, he's a fucking Sith.
Raw veins.
This can't be.
I'm getting a flashback.
Vietnam flashback.
Don't you know? You were created from my blood.
So, Black Doom is Shadow's dad.
That's right.
Rant about that as much as you want, folks.
Do you feel that?
So, he's literally Darth Vader.
At least he doesn't cut Shadow's hand off.
Search your feelings, Shadow. You know it to be true.
Damn you! No, it's not true.
It's impossible.
And another thing I don't like about this game, again, their desperate attempt to make this game edgy for that market was the swearing.
And all of a sudden we cut to this.
Yes, yeah, you remember these guys?
Quiet, Charmy!
How did they get on the Ark? Why are they here?
Espio, we need you to focus.
How is his mouth?
Don't hurry, all
How is he muffling when his mouth is not covered?
I know.
Easier said than done. Who signed me up for this anyway?
That's it.
Oh fuck, here we go.
Get out of the way.
Get back here, you idiot!
Bullshit. Bullshit.
It's working.
How's it working? He fucking... Forget it. So what did he find? It's a secret message from Professor Old Robotnik.
Do not touch my porn! That's what it says.
Don't look on my web browser history.
To this, then the worst has happened.
Where did these screens come from?
I don't know.
More plot holes.
The government
Mike Parker, you're being strangled.
How you doing, my boy? My son. But this would contradict Gerald's character, especially with him in Adventure 2.
and imprison all
Just imagine Eggman, like, just with his hand in his head, and say, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Shadow. It's all my fault. Making contact with that comet.
Even he's like, what am I listening to?
If Donald Trump was president, he'd be all over this shit. He would take it without a grain of salt, because he's that fucking... He's that much of a fuckhead.
In 50 years, the
They're still frozen.
Yeah.
And the aliens still haven't eaten them.
powers to
They're probably shocked at the footage.
the only way
Oh!
Eggman's face.
the way to use the very power
Look
they
at Sonic.
to use against them.
That's it. It's brilliant.
Okay, so now you can move your face, but you can't move your body? Huh? I've never known gas to freeze your body.
I know.
I thought it would maybe...
It's up to
Gas at the very least would probably
only
injure your body and, like, cause you to not breathe and
developed
not
the
breathing all
advanced
that.
cannon.
Like, no.
It's the only weapon that can destroy that black comet. Shadow,
And look at Black Doom, it's like, he's not even attempting to try and mute these screens.
we know it. The future of
I like the exposition.
you.
No, it's like, to quote what Chris Redfield said in Resident Evil 5, does he get all his lines from comic book villains? Oh, now he does it!
Shadow is already in my control. What's this?
My mind is powerful!
Well, seems like you're immune to my mind control.
You have no control over me, Black Doom.
And he flexes his fingers and he's back down on his knees again.
Here, I made a promise.
Or what
I'm
if he
here
pulled out a Thanos with the
today.
emeralds, he
I
snapped his
will
fingers?
pass behind me.
Damn teleportation.
That's right, leave your enemy with the emeralds.
Be prepared to meet your maker. Your past, present, and future ends here. Today,
Why not tomorrow?
prepare to die.
Because I want to finish the job now.
As you witness my true wrath.
Now we get an awesome piece of music. It's time for Super Shadow. Which they would reuse this in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. Mm-hmm. Chugga 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 chugga. And this is Live and Learn playing.
He's moving quite slow there, isn't he?
Yeah. Final boss time, folks, and we're going up against the Devil Doom. But listen closely to its battle roar. Perfect chaos? So the strategy for this guy, folks, aim for his big massive eyeball. You know that eye that's been following you for the entire game? That's your weak point.
Yeah, now we can finally fight it.
Now, Shadow doesn't have a gun, but he has infinite energy beams which function like guns. But just like every other super form, folks, your rings go down every second. You run out of rings, you lose a life. And this is the only way to get rings when you're running low, is to get him to teleport, lift up debris from the earth, which will include some balloons. Burst those balloons and you get 10 rings, or 20 rings, or 50 rings.
Alright.
But you need, for the strategy says, not only aim for his eye, but you have to keep your distance from him. But if you're too far, he'll attack you at long range. If you travel too close, he teleports away from you. You have to keep the right distance. And disappointingly, there's no orchestrated piece. The final boss theme is literally the main theme of the game. I mean, granted it's Crush 40 and I have nothing against that, but the orchestrated pieces would not start till 06, ironically.
Yeah.
Time to activate Chaos Control, which for bosses slows them down.
Then we can just like fucking attack that eye.
Aye. And what I'm doing is to cancel out the effect, you've just pressed the Y button again, folks. You can do that as much times as you want until the bar runs out.
Chaos?
Eye green, isn't it? Ah! Hey, it's not as bad as what was it, the special stage in Sonic CD where it's all like rainbow colors.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. So this creature's design basically is a two-headed creature with two arms and his legs are attached to a flying rock.
Okay.
That's it. This is Devil Doom, his ultimate form. Yeah, you don't lose rings if you get hit, but they're constantly draining.
If you're running low, focus on getting more first.
This has pretty much been a standard since the classics. When you turn super, you're always draining your rings. To hold down that big massive, to charge up the big massive Chaos Spear, you just hold down the fire button until you flash yellow, or flash yellow, and then you release the button. That's the most damaging attack you have as Super Shadow. To dash, you just press the A button twice. Again,
He keeps shooting the rocks, but he keeps missing.
yeah. It's like, look at Shadow's gun, and it's like, fear my invisible gun.
It just looks hilarious. I've never noticed it.
It's like he's going like that. Yeah, these will cause severe knockback, these lasers.
You think Shadow ever plays GTA pretending he's got a gun as well?
Yeah. Here's a little fact used for all of these. See, this is only if you somehow spend 9 minutes in this boss. Eggman will contact you to let you know that you are the real Shadow from Sonic Adventure 2. There you go.
He waited until now to say that.
Oh, you have to wait 9 minutes in this boss fight. Why would you spend 9 minutes here? Not to mention, you can damage the wings, but what's the point when you can just teleport, just dash right in front of his face? All the wings do is try and protect him, protect his eye. And thank God there's no keys in this boss fight. Imagine if you had to find keys in the middle of the sky here.
What would you even unlock?
Additional 10 rings. 10 rings.
The Billy Hatcher gun.
Yeah.
Just suck him up.
And then the final boss music changes to that theme. G-I-N-T-E-E-G. That's some good tech.
It's useless to attack those flying objects. Listen carefully. Use your full power chaos here to attack his eye.
Yeah, we know this, Eggman. We're a little bit late. Timing's a little off there, Doctor. Yes, folks, this is all he has in terms of his attacks. Pretty pathetic. You'd think that when he loses half of his health, he would have a new attack or something like that. But after we just blow his eye out, we're done.
Impossible. I am the supreme being that rules this universe. I am the immortal life form.
Why do I say these as I'm dying? Typical.
Typical villain quotes.
Yep.
This is the end of you, and the end to my cursed past.
And to the end of this terrible game. I bet your Shadow's like, I never want to have my own title again. Unless it's similar to what Sonic's doing. Because let's be honest, when I was a Sonic clone, everybody loved me. And again, these do look good for PS2 though. These particular CG cutscenes. Not the endgame cutscenes though.
Wasn't this like the first sort of Sonic game in the franchise where it had like these sort of more realistic CGI cutscenes?
Yeah, I think it was Blur Studios that does that. Fire at will, Kabanda! And there goes Black Aliens, never to be seen or heard from again. It's like they were filler. And the camera cracks.
it was about that Charmy and Victor and that were in.
How did you just get out?
Shadow, that was sweet.
How do they know he's alive? It's like he could have died.
I know.
After all, he is Shadow.
After all, he did die in a previous game.
Well, according to Eggman, no, he found him. It's confirmed. He did find Shadow lying down. That's what caused. Then he used him as a template for the Shadow androids and heroes. Thus started the amnesia thing for him. And then up to this game, where Shadow's just said, you know what, fuck my past, I don't care anymore. Yeah, ultimately. Beautiful music though.
It was quite nice.
But now we're going to listen. Now listen to this, folks.
How ironic. After the way we all treated him, he saved us all in the end. We were all wrong about the professor.
Hello. He programmed the Ark to collide with the Earth as retaliation for Yu's killing his granddaughter.
Oh, these people are fucked up.
It's like, why? Let's praise the man who turned the scientist who turned Madman and swore revenge on humanity. By the way, we're never going to hear these two again after this.
Shadow killed them in their sleep.
And that's how he got the job in the GO when he was the new commander.
Goodbye forever, Shadow the Hedgehog.
And that was Shadow the fucking Hedgehog for the Nintendo GameCube. At least we get one of the best themes at the end. Never Turn Back by Crush 40 with a beautiful piano piece here. Now, if Steven was here, he'd be crying like a baby.
That's quite a nice music, isn't it?
But Steven's one of those guys where, depending on what it is, whether it's piano music or a really good story, he'll end up getting emotional. But overall, Shadow the Hedgehog, shite game. Shite. Don't waste your money. Don't buy it. Don't go to it.
I bet there's probably someone that would enjoy it.
Out of curiosity, I suppose. But yeah, this is it. That's Shadow the Hedgehog done. And I think this is our first bad game we've done so far. And at least, despite this game making me frustrated, I at least kept my insanity.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, fucking Cure.
Yeah, and we're seeing like these CGI cutscenes for like the 15th time.
Yeah. So overall, Shadow the Hedgehog, a concept done poorly wrong, an experiment.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. Terrible story, terrible voice acting. This is the first time they did the voice kids, and yeah, they're bad. CGI cutscenes were okay. Music was okay. Gameplay, mixed. Although there was still problems with it, like slippery controls. Not to mention the whole morality system, completely pointless.
It's like, I bet like if they had more time with the game, like to fix a lot of the issues, I bet like it would have been a much more enjoyable game.
It probably would have, but at the same time, I think this was back then when Sonic grew in popularity. Sega was like, we must release as many Sonic games as possible.
Yeah, because this was during the time when like there was like 3 Sonic games a year coming out. At this point, wasn't there?
And it's like, slow down a bit. Or take a cue from Activision's book. If you're going to have multiple games, have multiple development teams.
Yeah, because like, well, Sonic Rush came out about the same time as this, but I think that was developed by Dimps.
Yeah, that was a separate developer,
Nintendo
yeah.
DS.
I don't know if this was before or after Shadow that Rush came out.
I think it was around the same time. Probably about the same time, I could be wrong.
Which introduced Blaze the Cat.
Funnily enough, like although the 2 games came out around the same time, this game is considered the end of the Dreamcast era, and Sonic Rush the beginning of the modern era.
Well, you can kind of see because it's again the character models and the graphics are just exactly the same as Heroes. I think this may be because of the way this game is, maybe because of Sega becoming a third-party company after Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they had to rebuild the games from scratch for different systems and engines, rather than just using the one they had for Dreamcast, which worked just fine. What was it? Just poor sales that caused the Dreamcast to go out?
Yeah, it was just poor sales, and of course with the PlayStation 2 coming out, like people just waited for the PS2 to come out. Plus as well that Nintendo of course was bringing out the GameCube, and then Microsoft was bringing out the Xbox.
Aye. Just the competition was not up to par, so...
Yeah. Funnily enough, at the time of this recording today, it is the 20th anniversary of the Dreamcast.
Coincidence. Right. So thankfully this is over, and hopefully I'll never ever have to touch this game ever again. I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough, folks, as much as I suffered throughout the recording. Seriously, fuck this game. Not the worst I've played, but it's right down below. Overall thoughts, Colin?
Yeah, so pretty much kind of like what I said earlier in this video. Like, I thought it was pretty good like when I first played it, but as time went on, you can really start to see like the flaws like in the plot and the gameplay and everything. I wouldn't say it's the worst thing I've ever played. Like, it's definitely got its faults, but in case if you're absolutely curious and you must see what it is, then sure, give it a shot. But don't blame us.
You're gonna lose your insanity when you do that. So with that, I'm Andrew.
I'm Colin.
We are Cal Gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next Let's Play.